Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a calculator that works with inches instead of just plain old numbers. And we made some progress on expressions, and I want to go back and finish up some of the stuff we deferred on input, because we kind of pushed forward to make the expressions happen, because that's kind of the essence of a calculator. I have a little cleanup work I wanted to do first, but we should get to the unit input pretty quickly. All right, so here we are running our latest version. You can say 42 inches plus 6 inches equals 1 yard, 1 foot. So 48 inches is 36 plus 12 inches, 1 yard, 1 foot. We let you do things like 25 inches times 3. So 75 inches is 2 yards, 3 inches. All right, so things like that. This is designed for kilt makers and quilters and other tailor type people that need to work with linear measurements of cloth usually. Now we could have dealt with square feet and square inches and all that. We don't. I'm going to get this in somebody's hands and see if they come to me wishing they had square feet calculations. I'm pretty sure I'm safe, but we'll see. We can do it if we have to. It certainly makes sense physically. All right, so the cleanup things I saw looking around last night. One is we have this keypad. We have a tricky relationship here. I should start there in calculator. So we have. Oh no, I want my view. Okay, our content view. There's a calculator that has. Well, it manages. We basically use stacks to evaluate expressions, and it owns those. It owns the entry of text and stuff like that. Then there's the keypad object that has all the actions. So it has enough information. Well, it has the name, and it has the action to take when you push the button. Okay, and the tricky part is our keypad needs to know the calculator to do its job. So let's go over to keypad. All right. It uses the calculator because the way these actions work, they're supposed to be functions. Well, let's see. I guess we'll have to go look at key. Key has an action that takes a string and turns it into a void. So it has some side effect. The side effect is I'm going to operate on that calculator. So it needs to know the calculator. It's sort of kind of a curried argument that this clear function is going to do things to stuff. Well, I guess it's not really curried. Okay. Anyway, at any rate, we need the calculator to tell the button, what object you're going to operate on when you do a clear or a unit or whatever. The string coming in is just the key name, so it can key off of that. All right. But I noticed it's observable object. Well, there's nobody marked published, so it's not really being an observable object. So let's whoops, take that off. Nobody should break from that, I don't think. Well. Oh, yeah, we got to take it into account. So now I don't really need to do anything. Once it's initialized, it stays initialized. Okay, so keypad now is we can just assign the real object. We don't need to worry about the state wrapper that state object required. Okay, and yeah, so that should manage that. Okay, and then the effect is this doesn't really need to be a class. I don't know if I can. Well, let's just change it to struct and see. There may be some initialization stuff or something that has to change a little. No? Okay. All right. So now keypad just knows calculator. I don't think we need foundation anymore because that was for observable object. All right, and so it just populates our keys with references to functions that get run on the calculator. All right, you still need the calculator, and that's kind of too bad, but that's the way it is. We started down a path part of this is getting rid of these purple marks. There are constraints on how you create objects. When you create state objects, the runtime system expects them to be part of a view, and it gets upset if they're not. So we tried untangling this a little earlier and didn't get anywhere. I think this will be a small step in the right direction. So that ran test. So let's commit that. Turn Keypad into a struct instead of an observable object. All right, that's a good move. Now, the other thing I had, let's see, this is CALC 2307, goodness, 20305, last day of May, and this is improve full unit input. Okay, and what we did was we made Keypad a struct. Good stuff. All right. I don't want to do every theory we have. We tried passing calculator and Keypad and just couldn't quite get it. But I did see like some examples that didn't use state objects, and I'm wondering if we can try that. I haven't tried this yet, so I have no idea if it works. And the other problem is this is an intermittent issue, so it doesn't always happen. I think if we can, well, we'll see. All right, so the problem is, what I think we can do is just make this a direct object in here. And I don't think we're any worse off, and we might be a little better off because it's not a state object at this point. All right, let's just do one and see. Now we still may get purple stuff, but I'm okay with that. Okay, well, where's that reported? That might be on a different one. It is. Okay, well, let's try it for the others. So it caught one of those cases. Let's do it here. And here. Okay, once again, if the purple goes away, it doesn't mean we've solved it because it is intermittent and it might show back up. But I think I have at least a small theory that will help. All right, we'll run it 3 times, but we've run it 5 times and not seen it in different cases. We'll see. Okay. All right, so eliminate state object from tests in hopes of eliminating the purple runtime warnings. And I mean, I'm glad the purple runtime stuff is there because all this threaded and, notification oriented stuff, it's tricky to debug, and any warning that something is fishy will help. Okay. All right. I'm happy there. So we did this. So try to eliminate purple error runtime errors by removing state object from ContentViewTests. Okay, and I'll just put this down, if any. Okay. Good. And is that just to do? Okay. All right. Now we're getting down to the real theme of the day. It's fixing everything about the input. So one problem we have is, in principle, well, the way we work now, you say 42 yards, 3 feet, 2 inches. You put the number first. But I don't think it should matter. And in fact, I think the way we're processing it, we don't keep track of whether the unit came first or the value. We just line them up. And that that looked okay to me in the code, but it doesn't actually work. So, okay, so that's one thing. Second one is add spaces before and after, and I can demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So if I do three, I can't type. I got to click. It's an iPhone app intended to be 3 yards. Oh, did it again? 3 feet 5 inches. It looks crowded. Okay, I'd like a little space before and after. Notice it's italics because we're in the process of entering it. So if I say equals, I get back something with spaces, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so I'd like to have those spaces in, and actually, I think this is right. Okay, I think that's the one we can do first. And then what about 3 yards, feet, 2 inches? So what if you're typing in 3 yards? Oh, that should be feet. Suspicious. Okay. Equals. Okay. It's all confused. Something's way off. I don't even know what is going on there, but it's not. It should be. Well, one theory is take the last unit. Another is make it an error. You know, I don't know. We'll see. All right, and then the other weird case. What about 5 feet 2? Eyes of blue. That I think. Well, we got to make a decision. Right now, it's an error. Should it be an error? If it's 3 yards 2, would you understand it was 3 yards 2 inches? I don't know. I wouldn't per se, but maybe people talk that way. So let's demonstrate. Let's clear 5 foot 2 equals boom. We crash. I mean, we know we weren't handling that, but it's not acceptable. Crash is never acceptable. But even if it didn't crash, it would probably come back with an error that says you can't mix units and numbers. Yeah, okay. We'll ignore that. Okay, so I think if we do at least some fraction of that today, that would be great. What else we got? Negative numbers, most recent operator. That was a nice display idea. Overflow, underflow. Okay, what if you add 10 to the 308th plus 10 to the 308th or something? I don't know. Whatever the maximum float is. If you start with an operator, you should load the previous result as the first operand. Yeah, well, that's getting out of units. But if I say 55 equals plus 3 equals, boom, we crash. Okay, we shouldn't. Well, we shouldn't crash, but it's illegal, but the way it is now. But we really should, we would like to do like most calculators in the world and say, oh, well, whatever your last result was, that's your starting point, unless you start typing numbers, and then we'll throw it away and use the numbers you type. Okay, anything else? Hit 2 operators in a row, the last one should win. That's kind of the same idea as here. And then we got more ideas, result types. We got more keys we don't handle yet, and so on. Okay, spaces before and after. Well, that should be easy, at least easy to see. I'm going to see if any tests here. Yeah, 1 yard. Okay, in the input, we ignore spaces. We don't check the display as it's going in. So let's see if we have one that does. Check digit key press, looks at the display. Yeah. What does this do? It looks at the display after you tap everything. Okay, so if I tap 5 feet and no equals, let's try that. Okay. 5 feet, no equals. We expect 5 feet, and then typing unit inserts spaces. What do we expect? I really kind of expect, Do I expect a space after it? I don't think I do. I don't know. Maybe I do. Let's try it. I think this test will fail. Notice we're not hitting equals because equals would format it with spaces. So this is a test of in-process display, and I expect we'll get 5 feet with no spaces before or after the feet. Right. Okay. Now that's a very high-level test. Let's work our way down. So I guess let's see what happens when you hit feet. You call unit on calculator. All right, so unit, it appends the string. Well, let's append it with some spaces. Value. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing, and I don't want to fight special cases too much, but if I trim it and I get 5 space FT, and then I type 2, then I'm going to get 5 space FT2 with no space, which kind of defeats that. And I don't want to try and put spaces in before operands. But the display itself, yeah, we could trim. Maybe that would be good enough. It's in there. If you keep typing, you'll see it. If you don't, you won't. I like it. Okay, we'll make sure to do that. Let's see if what this is going to do is break the parsing, I think. Because the parser doesn't expect spaces. Now, we may have ignored them, but I don't think we did. And that, well, it's going to tell us, I guess. All these. Number 2, big or small. Okay, yeah, something's up in the parsing. Inches. Okay. I guess that's calculator. Well, let's find enter. Okay, encode pending value. If pending is empty, otherwise parse it. Okay, so parse. All right, so here's okay, the numbers look for A to Z. I think if we put space here, okay, we'll allow it to, we'll split on any spaces as well as A to Z. So space FT space will come in as a unit, all right, and then unit 0 to 9. I think we'll want to do the same thing. Is that going to be true? Well, okay, I'm going to take the step. I think I really need to map these units to trim them. Okay, I think we'll still fail. But if I put space, oh, interesting. Units. A string of unit. Imperial units as inches. Okay, let's look at that thing. Number times ratio. Why does that work? All right, let's run it. I mean, I think it's saying our only failure. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Well, let's see what's up here. 1 foot 5 inches is not equal to 2 yards. Well, that's true. Okay. I think, I don't know how this thing is. I mean, he only looks up units here. If you give it space ft space, I don't think that's legit. Oops, value. I mean, really, this string unit dot. Oh, I have to do that white space thing. Let me try it the other way. Yeah, somebody's got to do it. I'm going to try it here. I thought that was just a trim. Dot map. Trim. $0 dot trim. Dot white spaces. Okay. So we've split them. We've said the regex. Well, we got the units. We split apart. Say you have 5 feet. Then 5. You get space ft, and we trim that ft, and we do that for each one in the list. Okay, let's see if that's. I expected more complaints, honestly. All right, well, that's certainly a way. Okay, let's take that. So insert spaces as you use units. And then MudShark666 made a point the other day that our output, up until this moment, our output had spaces. If you actually fed it into the input, it would fail to parse, which seems a little asymmetric, if nothing else. Unfortunate is another word. All right, so I think that's okay. Now let's deal with this trimming, excuse me. And that's here. The display pending is empty, is not empty. Let's trim that too. So I think what we're saying then is this test, we really would rather not have that trailing space in the thing. Okay, so let's add another test too. So 2 yards, 5 feet. Well, we expect that to be entered as 2 yard, 5 feet trimmed. I'll say and trims. Maybe just insert spaces. 5 feet. Okay. And I think both these will fail. Okay. 5 feet space, and this will be 2 yards to 5 feet space. Okay. So let's trim this. That is calculator. All right, so we display pending. Well, let's go ahead and trim. Okay, so I don't expect any leading spaces Well, no, we could. We could. Okay. Yeah, I believe this will pass. Okay, let's run it and see if it looks as lovely as I'm hoping. All right, so 5 feet to, yeah, we're getting spaces, inches. We actually let you enter stuff in any order, and we let you repeat. A little weird, but so this is, let's see, 3 yards, 4 yards, 2 feet, 4 inches. 4 yards, 2 feet, 4 inches equals 4 yards, 2 feet, 4 inches. Okay. Yeah, and okay, so let's clock that one. Trim spaces in display while entering numbers and or units. Okay, good. Okay, and that was this. Add spaces before and after. Okay, now the goofy things, the edge cases that we put off. Let's see. Just doing feet should be error. Okay. Feet 3, inches 2 should be 3 feet 2 inches. All right, let's try that. Feet 3. Yeah, that's already funny. Inches 2 equals, boom. All right. Yeah, we mess up our stack. All right. So this case, and once again, I think it's easy to put these in as acceptance tests because they're so there's such a narrow gap between the view of the front, you know, when you're typing, and the function of the system. It's not too hard to write these acceptance tests. Okay, so feet 3, inches 2 equals, we expect 1 yard 2 inches. Okay. Units may precede numbers. Okay, I think that's a legit test for this. Right now we type feet, okay, and then 3 kills off the foot. I don't know, that was kind of weird. Let's clear it again. Oh, we crashed. Never mind. Let's just test. And this test should fail. We should probably crash because that's what we did here. Okay, failed anyway. Numbers and units don't match. Okay, because I think it lost the feet. All right, so let's see what happens in the calculator. So if you send units first, units, we append that to the string. Interesting. If we then press a digit, already entering new number. Okay. I think that means our units need to be the same. They kind of need this. If you're already entering a new number, if you're not yet entering a new number, this is the start of one, and so it should set this stuff. Okay, we have some cleanup to do clearly. All right, Now, normally, if you type the number first, it's already done that, so you're okay. So not already entering a new number, clean it out, all right? And that's why the foot disappeared. And then notice that we're already entering a new number and append the value with spaces. All right, and that's why trimming on both ends was really the right decision. Well, or maybe it was an improper look ahead. Who knows? All right, but I think this will at least help. All right. Okay, and we'll run. So feet 4 inches 8 should be 1 yard 1 foot 8 inches. All right. Okay, so that's a good one. Make those, yes. Well, related to this, this is not going to be caught, I suspect. It's clear. Foot equals, yeah. Okay, so equals should be an error. Not an assertion failure, but an actual complaint. Excuse me. All right. So again, in calculator, operands is empty. Right, because we don't detect the error, so nothing gets dealt with. Okay. So what happens is equals, enter. I don't know, maybe this, I'm going to move this down a little. It's kind of the last function you use, so let's make it further down. Okay. Okay, let's unit. So not only our number, we set it into pending, and then we do that. And then when we hit enter, we encode the pending value. And I think that maybe, yeah, it has no digits. It should be an error. And all right, so if it's empty, return. It's not. We push value to parse. So our parser is doing something. Well, let's try value. Okay. I suspect we're not checking a case. Okay. We check if the number did not parse. Well, that's okay. Numbers is a list of things. I guess I can move this one up. It seems like a more, if it's empty, that's kind of makes this more reasonable. Oh, what's this one? Numbers.count. I think this may be the wrong. If numbers.count. Okay, if numbers.count is 0, sorry, is 1 and units is 0, that's definitely okay. Okay, that's this case. If, sorry, I'm going to move this up too, because I think that's more concrete. Well, this one puts the error in front. That may be better. All right, if the number count is greater than 1, and the unit numbers don't equal, so we got 2 numbers and 1 unit. That's the 5'2" thing, I think. But if numbers count equals 1 and units equals 0, I do think I want to check this one first. Okay, if numbers count as 1 and units is 0, that's the only case that you're allowed to have a mismatch. If numbers is 1 and units is 0, it's just a simple number, and that's fine. Otherwise, I don't think numbers count is relevant at this point. It really is the difference, I think, that matters. If numbers count is not units count, then numbers and units don't match. That's the error I expect. What I was thinking when I did it, though, what was I thinking? I think I tried to, I probably should have checked not equal 1. No, that's still not right. I think it should just be gone. I think that was just a mistake. Where we didn't have complicated enough tests to catch that, and we do now. Okay. All right, so let's commit that. If one number only, it's okay. Otherwise, units and count numbers must. Otherwise, we must have the same number of units and numbers. Okay, I think our code now reflects that. Okay, let's see, to do. ft equals should be an error, and let's go ahead and run that too. I want to see. Foot equals no value found. I can live with that message. Yard feet equals no value found. Okay. Now what about this one? 5 feet inches equals 5 yard inches feet equals. Okay, something's a little funny there. All right. Well, we got this one. Okay. I don't know, I'm just a little out of it today. Okay, 3 yard feet inches. Interesting. It's 5'2". Let's try that one. 5'2" equals boom. Okay, and that's going to be that that operand count being wrong. Okay, 3 yard feet 2 inches. Let's fix that. 3 yard feet equals like 3 inches. Where's it getting inches? Okay. I think what we're saying is it should be, well, it could be a warning, and I don't understand why it's not a warning, actually. That might be a good question to work out. Okay, so parse, it separates the numbers with this A to Z stuff, and then it separates the units with this. but not, I mean, 5 yard feet. I would think the units would be yard feet. And why is the parser, let's see this thing, why is it, oh, it's saying it's 1 inches. Okay, there's our answer. Why it's 5 inches in the answer. Yeah, so I mean, it should have come in with foot inches as a ratio, and maybe this is who owns the problem is my question, I guess. Well, okay, so value is the one calling that. Yeah. I mean, it could be the parser. It could be this thing. Like, he could look for... He could just take the last few characters of that. Like, if he took the last 4 characters, well, 3 even, and trimmed them, you know, he would have the last unit. But getting a wrong unit is weird. It's like, what can he expect? Well, I don't know. His reaction now saying it, oh, I don't know what it is, it must be 1. That's really unfortunate. Okay, I don't think we put a test in yet. Let's do that. Okay. Um, 3 inch feet equals should be 1 yard. Okay. Last unit takes precedence, and that'll fail. Okay. I think we're going to get 3 inches. Well, let's make it 3 yards feet. And maybe make sure it stays feet if it should be feet. Just to... Okay, should still fail. I'm just trying to get a case that's less likely to accidentally look good. Okay. Because if it has inches and it was inches, you know, that's not right. Okay. So let's go to tests for this thing. So what should he, 2 feet inch 3, it should be 2, well, I think it should be an error. Okay, so, is that, gosh, I think it's an error. I think what I'm saying is the last, sorry, it's not. What I am saying is let's make the last one win. And I think the same thing will happen in the calculator side. If you say 3 plus times 4, I think you're going to say it's really 3 times 4 rather than saying like, oh, you got this horrible typo. You know, we'll just say, no, your last one wins. Okay. I think that'll be a better way. Mixing frontwards and backwards just feels wrong. Now, if 5'2" defaulted to being 5'2" inches, yeah, it's definitely a choice. But I think to be consistent with the operators the way they should work, not that the way they do work, I think it should make it take precedence. And you'll see it if we do this right. Is that true? Well, that would be interesting, right? If I did 2 yards feet, I expect that to be 2 feet in the display, even though I haven't hit equals yet. This should fail too. I think both these will fail, but fixing it is going to be harder to fix that first one, or it'll take some work to fix the first one. 2 yards feet equals. Oh, okay. It's still showing the error. And then this is 2 inch. Yes. Okay. So maybe the error, like what if it's an editing error, a calculator error? I mean, a problem in the calculator. Now, if not already entering a number, okay, it takes precedence. We append it, but I want to say, if I treat it as a calculator, as a sort of an input error, that there's this little micro editor we're working in, I kind of think we should strip off the last bit. Okay, so let's try that. If pending ends with, really there's no ends with? Oh, come on. Dot last is, we know it's, no, we don't. If pending is empty, okay, let's do pending dot last. Yeah. I already feel like I got too many flags. I feel like the information is in pending, okay? And if pending, I cannot believe there's not an ends with. There's got to be something like that. Has suffix. How's that? Has suffix. Okay. All right. If it ends with a space, that means there's an operator in there. And we're going to drop last 4. Okay. 4 sounds arbitrary, but it is really, it's really space value space. Shop process returns a substring containing the final elements. Numbers dot drop last. I think I can turn it back into a string. Maybe this will do it. Maybe return substring, so convert it into a string. Okay. Okay, and let's run. Oops. Okay, so this is for yards. Now it should edit that in place. 4 feet. Oh, I meant inches. I meant yards. I think that's a good UI for that. I think it will teach you to enter them right, and you won't have that kind of 2 foot inch 3 thing. Well, 2 foot inch 3 would be ambiguous because it could mean 2 inches 3 somethings, or it could mean 2 feet 3 inches. I think because when you're editing it, it goes away. You never see feet and inches on there at the same time. Okay. I want to make this. All right. Let's lock in the good part. So make it so entering 2 units in a row has the last one win. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now there's something, okay. I think this is redundant. Let's see if that's true. I want to get rid of these booleans. They're evil. Okay, I think pending equals empty, already entering new number is false. Oh no, they are different. I was hoping pending would tell me. Huh. Is it length greater than 1? Well, yeah. It will be, right. It starts 0, but we append to it. So now we'd have to check if each path that cleared sets the flag true is guaranteed to enter something in it. Is it greater than 1 or greater or equal, I think? Okay, where's another one? Already entering. We might drop, but we always append. Not relevant. Operator. Code pending value. Oh, what's this one? Yeah, it's empty before you've entered it. Okay. Always entering equals false. And code pending value. Okay, I think. Oh, who calls this? It's 2 places. Operator. I think something's fishy. Oh yeah, I know something's fishy. Okay. I saw this last night. All right, clear. All right, 36 plus 22. No? Equals. Something's fishy. What was the problem? Now that shouldn't be a problem at all. So something's really weird. What was I seeing? Something was staying italic that I should have been. Yeah. Why did that just crash? $36 plus 2 equals. Okay. 36 plus. Okay, maybe that's what I did wrong. All right. Let's go back to calculator. All right, so the question I want to decide if pending is not empty, then already entering should be true. All right, let's see if we can. Now, there's something with the operator, though. Okay, encode pending value. Yeah, enter and operator both have to. So you've typed 36 and you hit plus, then we should encode the 36 and push it on the stack. If you've typed enter, then we should encode 36 and eventually display it. And when it's encoded, after it's encoded, it should be false, right? And okay, this one does that. I'm going to say, let's move that into encode pending value, but this one does not. And that seems very funny to me. So if you've encoded the pending value, then pending should be gone. Encode pending value. If pending's empty, return. Okay. Otherwise, push the value and set pending. Okay. I think this flag should be set there. Already ending numbers equals false. Now, we'll find out if somebody breaks because of this, but I think this should be okay. Okay, now we have this kind of hypothesis that if pending is empty, already entering a new number is false. And if it's false and you enter something, it should become true. So this is kind of together, but they make that true, that pending is greater than that, and then this becomes true. This one, same thing. If it's empty, okay, pending is true because it's being set momentarily. It's not done there. It's not done there. This now is in encode pending value here. Okay, so let's make sure that's okay. I think it should. I mean, I think the sort of invariant that should be maintained is if your number has been processed that you just entered, like it should be pushed onto the stack or dealt with, probably pushed onto the stack for an operator, and there shouldn't be anything now to type. There's, your typing should come in fresh. So it does maintain that together. So I think we can say that this is now, it's true when pending is greater than, length is greater than 0, not is empty. Okay. Let's take care of this. Manage already entering value. I guess that's in calculator. So it's consistent whether number followed by operator or equals. Okay. Now, I think this, because pending, I think these two are linked, right? So I think we can just make this a dynamic variable, private even, already entering number, and that should be not pending is empty. Was that a type? Yeah. Bool. Okay. And I think we got a bunch of setters for it now. I think those go away if this invariant is correct. Okay, so let's take that. that. I don't have a good mechanism to do this everywhere at once. Okay. That I think should pass. Well, what did I miss? Well, I think what this is really saying is pending. Pending should be empty after a clear. Okay. Now maybe I should make this public. Okay, let's go back. That's the italics thing, so let's... I don't know if I can say published on this. Right. I mean, it already... it affects it if pending changes, then it knows it affects it. Oh, public. Well, it's already dynamic. Okay. Make... Oh, I forgot its name already. Already in a new number. All right. Now I got these dead comments. Now, do I care inside? Set to true when the string was cleared in 2 places. Okay. We can go back. Set true when the string was cleared. I think the places pending should be cleared. When you hit an operator, then it knows the operand is complete. So you say 33 plus. It says, okay, 33 was being entered. That's complete. I'll turn it into a value, push it on the stack, and then reset pending. Nobody should be appending to that anymore. We're not entering values yet. And then the other place was equals unit. Let's see. Trying to see the best way to get back here. I guess let's push this and then I can compare. Okay. There's the last one. So that was definitely before. All right, so let's look at calculator. Okay, so already entering numbers. Okay, clear sets it to false because you're no longer entering. Okay. Digit sets it to true because we have started typing, but we know that the pending will be greater than 0 at that point, the length. Okay. Well, okay. Already entering equals true on unit. Yeah, again, we cleared this, but immediately we're going to go append to it. So it's kind of, it's weird to me to pending equals empty and then already entering a number is true when we haven't entered anything, but we're immediately going to. So I think it falls out from that. Evaluate doesn't have it. Op did not have it. And then that's a false. Okay. Enter. Right. And again, we've encoded the value, so we know we're not entering it. All right. So I think we're okay. I think it would have been better if I had never needed that flag in the first place. I mean, I wanted that flag because I wanted the italics thing, because I get annoyed with calculators when I'm typing in and I set it aside for a second and it's like, did I finish typing my number or did I already hit an operator and I don't know what operator I hit? Then, we want a little more visible state from that. But I think because it should be a consistent relationship that the pending value means I'm still typing and I haven't hit an operator or an equal sign, I should just keep entering. And that to me seems right. The start of it, like it's got to be reset, so pending becomes empty again, then I haven't entered anything yet. So as far as you know, I'm not entering a number. If I hit an operator or something, it would be different. But yeah, pending is the control. So I think that's the real thing. And then this, I don't know. I mean, should I look at pending in the code? Is not entering a new note. So let's see. I gotta make sure I'm not screwing this up completely. Okay, if I come in on digit, I'm not already entering a new number, meaning pending is not empty. So if pending is empty, I don't know, this doesn't make sense to me. If I come in with a digit and I'm not already entering a new number, okay, so let's say I'm starting out fresh, pending is empty. Let me inline that. Not pending dot is empty. All right, and that becomes that. And then if pending is empty, make it empty. I don't think this means anything. Let's see. Let me do that again and make sure I'm not confused, because I am confused. All right, not already entering number is not pending is empty. Okay, so not pending is empty is the same as pending is empty. If pending is empty, make it empty. That tells me I don't need this. Does that seem plausible? If pending is empty, then I just want to start a pending. If it's not empty, I want to keep a pending. I think that's correct. All right, let's do it again. If not pending is empty, make it empty. Okay, same argument. All right, if pending has suffix, well, if it's empty, it won't have a suffix. Okay, append the value. Oh, nobody ever looks at it in here. Okay, that's simpler. All right, well, if it works. I'm going to space this a little better. If pending isn't empty, then display it. Otherwise, if operands aren't empty, then display the top one. Otherwise, return the result. That's a little weird for us. Okay. Clear resets pending. Okay, that resets pending is empty. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Let's check. I guess before they had to check it because they were responsible for making sure the flag got set, but now we don't have that. Okay. Well, I'm happier with that refactoring. I still think it's weird that you have 3 places to look, and I'm not totally convinced that's right. But okay, let's let it go. All right, 3 feet, yards, feet. Okay, should only take last unit. Yes, that was all kind of part of that. And 5'2" as an error. And today, let's see where we are. I think it is an error. Seven inches. 8. Okay. Yes, take a break. Let's mark this as an error. Is an error. Okay. Let me just make one little addition here. I expect some sort of error. I think it's numbers and units don't match. More numbers than units. Okay. All right. Well, let's take that break, 3 or 4 minutes. And I think we knocked out all those unit issues. We've still got some stuff to do to kind of consolidate what we have, but I think we're in a good place. So see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. All right. Let's see. Display negative numbers, show the most recent operator, overflow, underflow. Start with an operator, should load the previous result. So if I do 7 plus 4 equals 11, and I say plus 3 equals, it should not say plus 3 doesn't make sense. It should say, oh, 11 plus 3 is 14. Hit 2 operators in a row, the last one should win. Okay. I think that's related to the most recent operator, maybe slightly. This one. I'm gonna put this one a little lower and kind of dealing with possible values and stuff. Okay. If you start with an operator, you should load the previous result. Yeah, okay. Show the most recent operator in the display. Okay, so doing this, 3 plus, well, I don't know what I hit. Just like my complaint about not knowing the whether I'm entering text or not. I don't know what my last operation was. Okay, so let's make that happen. Okay, so I think we'll do this at the calculator test level. I notice I'm leaning more on those system tests than on these calculator unit tests. All right, so is it the display? Yeah. Okay, so operator shows in display. Okay, so 9 plus, I would like the display to say 9 plus. And that's pretty much not going to happen. Oh, does it belong? Okay, this is a good question. Who owns that problem? Should it be in the display in the calculator, or is it a bit of information that the true view is willing to display or not? I guess the calculator is okay. Display result. Yeah, display is doing it here. Okay. Now the interesting thing here is, when does that become cleared out, right? It's kind of a symmetry now that if you type, okay, let's say you type an operator, we encode the pending value, the pending field, and put in our value, but we don't do anything when you do a digit. Well, now I think we should. All right, so let's make a last operator. Pending operands. I guess it's displayed. Not necessarily. Maybe it's the same thing. Well, if operator, I was going to say, should I just display it when there's an operator on the stack? But if I do 3 plus 4, then the plus would stay there even after the 4. That seems wrong. Okay, let's make a field out of it. Published private set var last operator, and I'm going to make it a string. Okay. Or should the keypad change the button? Oh, interesting. Well, I think we have the space for it to show in the display. I mean, if we're showing a pending value, then we clearly have not, we don't have an operator. If we're showing the operands, oh, hey, yeah, welcome. I was trying to give a demo, and here I am in a non-running state. Let's take this out. I don't know what I've bumped or done. Really? Okay, no real errors. One failing test. All right, let's run. Yeah, so this is going to be a mobile iPhone app, and the interesting thing about it is it knows yard, feet, and inches. So you can do plain numbers, or I can say this is 44 inches. Well, what is that? It's 1 yard, 8 inches. Or I can do 5 foot, 2 inches plus 3 yards, 88 inches equals 7 yards, 6 inches. So I'm designing it for people who make kilts or quilts or tailoring kind of things where English units, imperial units are still kind of the popular, at least pretty common in the US. I don't know. I think my wife, after her last kilt she made, was like, maybe we should try this in metric. But, I end up being the the math reference. I've got 42 inches and 17 pleats. How many inches per pleat? And it's, even the answer you get from the calculator, like it's not in eighths of inches or 16ths, so you can't really work it out. But we have the numbers working, the basic operators on the right, and the clear button, and these units. We haven't done the parentheses, percents, slash, or memory stuff for these two. But what we're after now is we'd like to have it so when you, let's just clear it. If I type 55 plus, I'd kind of like to see the plus as well. So a little bit of accumulation there. All right. I mean, could it be the whole expression? All right, calculator. Okay, so we're saying we want to know this last operator, but you know what I wonder? I mean, we probably have space. I've got a lot of vertical space yet. I'm anticipating kind of one more row of buttons, something to say, like, do you want this in eighths of an inch or 16ths of an inch? And then something to say, do you want to see numbers as inches, yards, feet, or yard, feet, and inches? So I've got kind of one more button, one more row of maybe weird shaped buttons. They might be drop downs or something. But I've got that whole space. That's probably 3 lines worth. I might be able to fit the whole expression on there. Maybe that's the thing to do. Result.format. What's result for us? Oh, well, he's a number. Let's see how he's handled. Result format. Result is operands.pop. Yeah, I almost wonder if I made result. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Okay, let's just do it as last operator for now, and we'll see if we can get a more clever solution. last operator is a string. And then let's start it off empty. Okay. And in our test, wherever that got off to. All right, you do 9 and plus. The display should say 9 plus at this point. All right, so calculator. So I think what we're saying is, if the operands are not empty, this seems to be the place. So if pending is not empty, you're in the middle of entering text because pending is like a little mini text editor. If operands is not empty, you're taking something. All right, thank you. Thanks for popping in. All right, if operands is not empty, that means we're displaying something off the top of the stack. So if I say 3 plus, and I'm displaying the operand, but I think I should be able to put the value, the operator should, this is the case where the operator is involved. If you hit equals, it pushes it out to the result. Well, I don't think it needs to. It already is a text thing that will wrap, right? We've seen that with error messages. So I think we can just put it in there. And the only case that has it is this one. If operands is not empty, we've either, well, if we hit equal, right, where enter's on the bottom, operands is not empty, result is operands.pop. So when you evaluate, you should have one thing on the stack, and it should be the result. There's no operator at that point. Okay, because that's the only place result is set. So I'm convincing myself that, well, let's say last operator. I don't think it would look terrible. Let's do this. Okay. That, operands, all that stuff, quote, nope, too much. One more print. Okay. So that should be nothing, and then this should be last operator. The question is going to be if I care about that last space or not. All right, so that's going to break some tests because lots of tests may check that display and now they'll see a space on it. All right, so clear gets number space. Okay, so maybe I should just do the trim, but well, I don't need to do that. I can say if last operator dot is empty, it's this. We can improve that. Okay, I think this will work. Good. Okay. This did not break any other tests, so we've done something harmless. Yeah, we can clean up later. The trick is, though, last operator should get set, right? So it should be set here. I mean, this is the last operator. We can Okay. But it should be cleared. Well, enter should clear it for sure. Although I don't think it will matter. And digit and unit should clear it. So if I say 3 plus, it should say 3 plus. And if I say 5, then I want to clear the operator and just show 5. Yeah, just show 5. Okay, so this one is going to say last operator. Why I can't type it, I don't know. And then unit. Same deal. And I'm just going to move this down a little closer. Okay. All right. Show last operator until equals or new operand is typed. Okay. Now, let's run and make sure we get the look we're after, but I think we're in good shape. So 33 plus, see, I don't see a reason we shouldn't just get 56 here, but we're entering it, so it's a little different. It doesn't have to be equals, and that's fine. But it's an improvement to me that as I'm entering my number, I can see what I've got so far. But I might want to go the other way. Okay, let's do that cleanup. All right, well, one thing is this. That's a variable. All right. That's the operand text, operand string. No. Yes, it will change, but it won't change what you've done. Let's see. Let me get this straight before I get too lost. That's definitely the next step. Operand string. Okay. And this can move up. All right. So it's never good that you're lying. All right, make sure this is still okay. I forget if we checked in already once. Yeah. Okay, and demo the thing we still face, 5 plus times 3 equals boom. Okay, so we have in fact not got it doing that, but it might not be too hard to do it. It's just okay. Let's take this to do. Show the most recent operator. Yes. Yeah, the question is, when does it get pushed? And it's kind of the same question we faced on the pending thing. Like you build up pending, but you don't actually push it onto the stack until you get an operator or an equal sign or something that forces you to. And I think the same thing's going to have to happen for last operator. You type plus today, it pushes it on the stack, or it even evaluates the stack, and all kinds of things happen and all that stuff, right? So that would have to wait. Oh, and that crisscrossiness really bugs my eyes out. So now we'd be saying, so I don't know, it's so weird, like we already are, right? Encode pending value happens on op and enter. And they're saying, okay, now I know I'm done. And we're asking the same thing from the operator. I'm going to type a bunch of operators, and then when I'm done, I want you to do a make, do the evaluate. Yeah, and the tricky thing is like looking at these other keys, right? They're going to require some of the same thing. I mean, if I enter a new value, unit or digit, I do want to consolidate that last operator. If I hit left parent, am I going to consolidate it? I guess I am. I think. Okay. I don't know. Now, the other way I'm thinking about, and maybe it's worse in a way, and it's better in a way. What if you just kept typing until you were done and you hit equals and you got it? Okay. So if you did 5 times 3 plus 4, a lot of calculators, you say 5 times 3 plus, it'll turn that into 15 plus, and then your 4 equals 19. Okay. But we could just make this a true mini editor. You're just typing in all the stuff, and we're smart that if you type a unit and type another unit, oh, you must have had the wrong one, you changed your mind. Or if you type an operator and you hit the wrong operator, you have another, you changed your mind. But I don't know if that's a better or worse thing. It delays the evaluation. It feels odd to me. It feels like typing in a whole equation and then seeing the answer instead of seeing it as you go. I don't know if it's better or not. I mean, you can look at the whole thing and decide that it's better. Okay. I don't. It's how far do I want to go with that? Gosh, it doesn't seem like a bad thing. I mean, if I'm typing my lines out, I've got 5 yards 2 inches divided by 17 equals. I've got a moment to look at that and make sure it's right, and if it's not, I can edit it. 5 yards 2 inches plus 8 yards 2 feet plus 6 inches. Oh, that should have been 3 feet 6 inches. It's not bad. It changes the world a bit. I mean, it means the pending is a much bigger deal in that kind of model. I'll tell you, there's another feature I haven't really talked about, but I'd like to have another little button that is like the printouts, like everything you've evaluated. And I guess it could even be printable. You've gone through and you've done a bunch of calculations and you click this button and you can see the whole list of calculations. Well, we would certainly want to see those equations. Yeah, and that would not be limited by the size of the display. I mean, the size of the display, we would either put a scroll bar in or, yeah, I guess I would do that. I'd say I'd consolidate my space, the white space on the bottom up to the top, and give this thing a line limit of 5 lines or whatever it can accommodate, and then stick it in scroll bars. And then you can see the whole equation as you go and work on it that way. I think that's an improvement. I've also got this backspace character going on, and we haven't dealt with that. But if the whole string were a big old string, we just have to be a little smart that yards, feet, inches need, they need to remove 4 characters at this point. Everybody else is okay, I think. I think this is... It's a big change. I mean, it's not 15 minutes of work or anything, but it kind of turns this into an editing thing and not a calculating thing. At the end, we evaluate the giant expression, and do it. Boy, and we have a little extra space. I mean, we're on a smartphone. You can scroll, you can do this and that. It probably seems better in terms of doing the math that it works that way. Okay. I think we have the stuff in place to do it. It changes this evaluate. It really... It's more like somebody's going to go back through and scan. I guess that's what's going to happen. They're going to go back through and scan this thing to find the elements, and then they're going to call the stuff that's the equivalent of these. And I do think there's something to that that's kind of good. Okay, let's do 5 feet 6 inches. Okay, and if I do plus, it changes. Okay, and that's a little disconcerting. I mean, it's doing the right thing. Yeah. But it changed the thing. So if I'm trying to say, did I enter the right number? I got to think it through. Like, 1 yard, 2 feet is 5 feet 6 inches. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, so that makes most of these keys be data entry keys for now, and then we come back through and parse it for real. And our parse has to get a lot smarter because it's got to handle whole expressions with all this stuff and all that. I don't know. I guess I should say, what does it take to make the last operator thing work? I think right now, to your point, I think units and digits have to say, hey, was there an operator going? Okay, let's make that the real operator and do the evaluate operator stuff. Okay, and the more I push down that path, the more I'm moving. It's really flipped. Okay, this is going to go on unit and digit. They're going to call evaluate operator or encode operator or, evaluate operator. And Right. So yeah, it's almost backwards, right? The encode pending value gets called by operator, and that handles the operands, and then encode operator gets called when the operand by the operand. So each one's calling the other. Ugh. Okay. But it's reasonable. Okay, so we're saying test operator, test, let's say last operator wins. Okay, so if I do 9 plus times, oh, let's do this as a times and a 3. That should be 12. So we started to do 9 times 3, but we did 9 plus 3 after all. Okay, this will fail. It makes for an interesting refactoring to switch this thing. You know, it's not quite a refactoring because we're kind of at the high level. After you hit equals, it looks like a refactoring, but until then it does not. All right, test last operator wins, and we're going to get 3. Oh, I didn't say equals. I think it throws that away, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's try that again. Right. We put two things on the stack, and let's see where it's, yeah, evaluate is the one blowing up. He popped twice because he's got 2 operators, so he should pop twice eventually, but we only gave it 2 operands, not 3. Okay. So I guess what we're saying, all right. So op, he does tell us last operator, and he encodes his stuff, but this should become a method. And this is, I don't know, handle operator. Okay. Now, handle operator. I mean, an operator can never be the last thing, right? So if you do 3 plus 3 times, you always have to have another value. So, all right. So what we're saying is this is going to get done by unit before he does his thing. He's going to handle operator of the last operator. And he's got to clear it. Okay, we'll put that up here. Has nothing to do with his pending parsing, so that's okay. This may be able to move up in there too. All right, handle operator, and where's digit? Same deal. Okay. And then operator no longer gets to do that. Okay. Enter. He encodes a pending value, so that last operator gets in there. There's no real last operator. It's a convenient place to clear it, but it should already be cleared. Yeah, so you're right. handle operator. Let's see, sorry, let's go to the people who are doing it. Clear. I guess he should clear last operator too. Okay. This digit and unit, do that. And we're passing in last operator. Okay, let's see if this is. We haven't covered every possibility yet, but we're getting there. Oh. Okay. So we did 3 plus times something equals. Okay, so digit handle last operator. Oh, well, if that's if there is none, we shouldn't do that. If last operator equals empty string, then return. All right. Make unit and digit apply the last operator before entering their value, and op no longer does. Okay. It's a very twisty little thing. Now, I saw something recently. It was basically talking about functional style and kind of how basically saying we can make a combine operator that takes two functions and combines their effects. And so we could somehow define, instead of calling digit, if you called handle operator plus digit or something like that, then it would kind of encode the fact that both of these start by handling the last operator. I don't know if it's quite there. All right, but all right, now let's see where we are. Okay, so if we do, we won't see the intermediate result. 5 times plus 3 plus, oh, that's not so good. Two equals 10. Okay, 5 times plus 3 plus 2 equals, okay, it's right. It was a little disconcerting, but it was right. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else critical on to do for us. If you do operators in a row, the last one should win. All right. I guess the other one I'm worried about, okay, you can still screw up. All right, that's the thing. If you do 5 minus equals, something's wrong. Why did that not screw up? I'm puzzled. Okay, get to our evaluate. Okay. That's true. It's Do you think it's 0? I don't think there's a 0 there. I would have thought that the stack would be 5 on the operands and minus, well, maybe are we handling enter right? Evaluate. Right. Enter. Okay. Enter is not doing its job. It also has to encode the operator, I think. Or, oh, it's never seen. Yeah, it's not 5 minus 0. It's never evaluated or never pushed on the stack because it doesn't have the operator to push it. And the only way we push is when you hit a digit or a number. I think it should be an error. How we, I guess, yeah, if we get here, and last operator is still set, that means somebody typed an operator and didn't do anything. Okay, so if I do 8 times equals, like, that doesn't seem, it's not an expression. I think that should be an error. And I think the error is you got to enter and you still had a last operator, which means it was never pushed on the stack. Well, you could define something for it, but I don't know. I think if somebody told me 8 minus equals, I'd say your equation's wrong. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of squaring it for itself and then maybe 0 for plus and minus. Or the result is 0 because it's minusing itself. I don't know. I think I want to say that's an error for now. But I also think this direction of a full equation that you type in and then evaluates is actually a good thing, because then you can see that it's not. Yeah, error is the easiest at this point for sure. Let's do that. How about binary? Trailing binary operator is an error. Okay, 9 times equals, and it should say missing final operand, something like that. All right, that's going to fail. Okay, Nick has 9 sitting there still. Okay, if not operands is empty, well, somewhere in here, I encode a pending value, I evaluate whatever's on the stack. I guess if I don't have, I don't know what to not, I guess there's no point evaluating if it's misformed, malformed. All right, so if last operator is empty, I wish I had a trailing not. If it's not empty, then result equals whatever I said. Well, okay. That's computer guy talk, right? So it's not such a good choice. String to value, okay. need value after operator. How about can't, don't end expression with an operator. Expression can't end. We'll swap that in the test and run. Yeah. Excuse me. That's our stack. I guess we don't have a clear. Remove all. Yes, it should, but well, yeah, that's a fair argument. Well, okay. Here's the deal. If you have a properly formed expression, this should always be true. I mean, this case where it wasn't properly formed. This should always be true. Now, can we guarantee? I don't know if we've guaranteed that it can't be a problem. Maybe we have, because there's sort of an implicit thing that's like your expression is value operator value operator value operator. We don't handle parens yet, so there's no ambiguity there. I think the way we've done it now, because if you ever hit more than one operator, it turns into one operator. Okay. And then in this case, we just added checks to make sure that the last thing is an operand. And so if you just start with an operator, it's an error. If you do operand operator, it's an error. 3 plus 4 plus is an error. So I think we're detecting that last case. You never can push two operators in a row now because we only push the last operator and we've done this replace the operator thing. So I think this is true. This is, okay, maybe I'll put this up here and then clear them down on the bottom. That I think is probably fair. Yeah. So it theoretically should use up both stacks. If it doesn't, there was an error. But you can't ever get two operands in a row because the way you get operands is typing digits or units. And if they don't match up digits and units, then we complain. If they do, you just can keep typing. You can't put a space or something and then put the next one. So we never get two operands in a row. We never get two operators in a row, and we never have an operator at the end. At least for what we have now, we'll guarantee this result. If operands is empty, what do we display? I guess the result doesn't change. Okay, that would be a test. Let's just type equals. Right? Equals shouldn't blow up. It's not doing anything either. Okay, so this test should pass now. The complexity here is a little high. Okay, so we made it so you can't enter a final operator without a final, or make it so we require that the last thing entered is not an operator. That's an illegal expression. Okay. So, all right. Let's go back through. So, already entering number. In my new scheme, I think this goes away because you're always entering something until you hit equals. Pending is empty, then display that. If operands isn't empty, display the operand. Otherwise, display result. Yes, I think we're gonna. Let's see. How can we do this? Let's build up. All right. The scheme I'm going to say is let's build up an editing buffer. What we called it pending before, but let's find another word. Input. Okay. We're going to build up an input buffer, and we're going to apply the stuff we did. Handle operator. No, I'm more interested in this stuff. If the buffer, if you hit unit and the thing has a space, the only way you get a space is if it was the last thing was a unit. We'll apply that to the buffer too. Okay. And operators, same deal. Nothing will evaluate or do anything with that pending buffer. It's just capturing the expression as edited. Okay. And I think we'll leave everything else in place. And then at the end, enter. I think then we can call code that parses it and evaluates it. All the pieces of evaluation are the stuff we do, the code we're doing up here, evaluate and push and stuff like that. We won't have to worry about last operator, so that part will be simpler. And then we can also put that backspace in because that will be useful. All right. Let's start in. Okay, so this is, I'll call it published because we're going to display it eventually. It's private set because nobody else gets to. Okay, input of string equals nothing. All right. And everything, okay, clear should clear input. That's pretty clear. Input is nothing. Okay. Append to, that should append to our input. Handle operator unit should append the value. I'm definitely going to have a little duplication while we do this. Input equals input.append. Okay, so anytime pending changes, we certainly change stuff. Encode pending value, that's not our problem. Evaluate, not our problem. Handle operator. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I think we're going to say input dot append op. But this is more complicated. The way we handle ending ones is different here. So all right, that is done. I'm going to clear our input as well. Okay. Now, this last operator stuff we got to deal with here, and we want to do it sort of like we did up here. If it has the relevant suffix, then do that before we append to it. Okay, so if input has suffix, I'm going to be stupid for a little bit here. Well, if input dot last is not nil, let last char equal input last. Okay, and then if last char, well, if plus minus keypad dot multiply keypad dot divide dot contains last char. Okay, then we're going to do something. We're going to say input equals drop last string of input dot drop last and input dot and fall through and append to input. Okay, so if string dot element versus string. These guys are strings, aren't they? Well, I think the last operator will go away in this new mechanism. So I don't think we'll need it as much. Let me see what these types are. They are strings. Okay. Well, let's do that up here. Yeah, I think last operator goes away. I think this is kind of the editor aspect. Yeah. I think, yeah, we're not enforcing valid input here, but I think we're okay. So what I'm doing is saying drop, if it ended, this is sort of the last operator thing. If it turns out the previous last character was an operator, then we do the drop last. So this is kind of taking the place of the last operator thing. And then we're always going to append the thing we're entering. Okay, and then we're clearing it here. All right, so this should be, nothing should break while we do this, is the invariant I'm hoping for. I'm building up a new string. That string would be the same string I'd probably want in my output if I had a long output screen that I'm talking about as a new button someday. All right. Now I think I can do something cool, if silly. I'm going to put a text at the bottom. Okay. So my test pass, yeah, so 99 feet, 61 inches plus 3 feet 2 inches equals. Okay, I think this is kind of working out. 32. What else can we do? Okay, yeah, let's do the last operator things. Times plus 2. Okay, notice they both edited their thing. Equals 34. I'm happy. Okay, and I can show this or not show this. I don't know if I've broken my system tests because they fetched text to figure out where the display was. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. I'm in good shape there. Okay. So we can show or hide this, I guess. But that's enough to convince me that we've built the proper string. Now, I don't want to do anything that's going to break in the last 5 minutes, but all right. So build a separate input string that captures the type keys as edited. So we still get feet. 3 feet inch is 3 inch, and 3 times plus 2 equals 3 plus 2. Okay. And that's a step towards where we're going. Okay, now I'm tempted to just handle it. I've got to parse. So what happens is I build up this thing, and when I hit equals, there's got to be a lot of work. Relatively speaking, I mean it's not tons, but I mean it's a gazillionth of what you would do to watch one little frame of video. But okay, so when you hit enter, now you have this input string. Maybe string isn't the right thing. I mean, what if... What if input... I don't know if I can distinguish... I wonder if I can distinguish things as I go. So instead of digit, input would append a digit enum, and then my parse is just blip 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 through those. That's a tougher call. So the way I am now, encode operand, what do we call that thing? Encode pending value. Okay. Now what if display just displays input? If input is empty, return input. Let's run that. So I'm moving it up to the top box. 3 plus, oh, can't type. 3 plus 2 equals 5. 8 times plus 3 plus equals, okay. Now pending is internal. All right, let's do that. Let's see what that does to everybody. It's going to break a bunch of tests because they assume simpler stuff is going on. Okay, not a lot. Calculations. 5 feet. Okay, I guess it should be trimmed, just like the other one. Input trimming. Okay, operators and display. Yes, that one. Okay, we put spaces in. I'm okay with that. Calculations. 2 yard feet should be 2 feet. Yeah, we probably could do that. Let me catch it because we're so late in the day here. How about a separate error field so we can keep editing? I like that. Yeah. Okay, so this one puzzles me though. 2 yard feet means I didn't do something right. Oh, did I deal with units? I don't think I did. No. Oh, I guess I should just be parallel. Okay, that I can live with. We might decide our operator should have spaces, but I think I'm okay with that, especially while you're typing it in. But in general, I think I'm okay with it. And then the last one was, oh, is that the only error? Yeah. Okay. And then pending, sorry, if input is empty, then pending, the only way, if input is ending, pending is empty. If inputs to has stuff, pending has stuff. So pending is no longer relevant. Operands is empty. We're not, input will never be empty. So I think this can't happen either. And this can't happen. Okay. This is doing one good thing because I didn't like having 3 or 4 extra fields. Okay. If there is input, meaning we haven't hit equals yet, then show it. If there's no input, well, the one place we do that, well, clear does, but this does. So it builds up, it sets result if it can, and clears input. I think we are in good shape. Now we don't parse it. Oh, who failed? Clear resets error. Okay. Clear. Okay, I think he should set result. To 0. Or as result of value. Okay. All right. Well, what we just did was make it so we only look at input or result, dropping the view into pending or operands. Okay. Now we will stop there. Let me put a note in the to-do. Do we need pending? Anymore? Okay. Well, thanks for joining today. I think we made some good progress on things. We got all that unit stuff straightened out. I think we're good there. And I think we finished all the weird operator stuff that we had to worry about. Malformed expressions, I don't think will cause missed errors, no crashes anymore. So, yeah, I think this was a good session. So we'll tackle the rest of this tomorrow. And then we'll go ahead and move on extending the things we're doing. Let's see, we're having workers come tomorrow, so I'm going to be trying to relocate to a different office and working there, and hopefully there's no problem with that. But forewarned that I may struggle a little. I probably won't have all my fancy little devices and a spare screen, so I'll be working off a laptop. But I think we'll be there. I'll get that set up tonight. All right. Hope to see you tomorrow. I think we'll manage this equality thing and move on to some of these other cases, and I'll move this one up, and maybe move on beyond this. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.